Well, we've all used the layer style drop shadow, and okay, yeah, that's a real cool groovy thing. You can put the drop shadow in. You know, I mean, I use it all the time. It's quick, it's easy, but is it real? I mean, does it really do what we want it to do? So I want to share with you how I make realistic drop shadows in Photoshop, and it's again one of my favorite things to do in Photoshop. So let's just get busy. In our masking section, we had some layers. We put mask around this young lady here and this young lady on the horse over here. So let me move some things around in my environment so it's easier to work with. Let's make this a little skinnier. There, uh-oh, not the swatch box, but this thing itself. There we go. I can work with that. Bring my layers palette over here. Zoop, zoop. Bring my handy dandy history panel in. You never know when you might need that. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to select my girl layer, and I'm going to select her and drag her over here. Then I'm going to take my horse lady layer and drag her back here. And I'm going to go edit free transform and make the horse lady a little bit smaller. Here we go. Notice how big that is, but that's because it's the entire image that's in there. It's not just the horse lady, it's the horse lady and the whole image, because it's a mask through non-destructive editing. So I'll put her about right there. Now, the bad thing about these images is you have the horse lady back here, but there's no shadow. You have the young lady over here, but she has no shadow either. So here we go. Here's how I make real looking drop shadows in Photoshop. Oh, this is pretty cool. Like the little girl, she looks like her hand should be right over there on that rail. How cool and groovy is that? So let's start with the girl. I'm going to go to the girl layer. Actually, I'm going to go to the horse lady layer, make a new layer, and I'm going to call it Girl Shadow. Very good. Now, to make the selection around the girl and to create the mask, I ended up saving the selection. As you know, if you've been skipping through the videos and you're not aware of how to save a selection in Photoshop, it's real easy. You just go make any selection, make the selection, and then you go to the select drop-down menu and just go save selection. Woo! And I'm going to call this selection circle. Okay. Woo! So now I can deselect. So next week, next month, next year, I can come back and I can go select, load selection. And I can come in here. Here's the circle right here. Bam! I click, bam, there it is. So selections are easy to save, easy to bring back. You can use them again and again and again. So I selected this young lady. I saved this selection. I'm going to go load selection. I'm going to come in here, get the little girl selection, click OK. There it is. Kind of hard to see, but you can see the marching ants. Now for the drop shadow. In my swatch box, I'm going to select black. You can see black showing up over here. And now, something people don't know a lot of in Photoshop, but for any selection that you make, you can go to the Edit drop-down menu and go to Fill. Edit Fill. And it's going to fill. It's going to say, do you want to go foreground color? Yes, I do. That's why I selected black. I say OK. So there you go. It's in its own layer. It's in the girl shadow layer. I can deselect, and here it is. Let's move the swatch box out of the way. All right. How do you like that for a drop shadow? How is that? Is that cool or what? Ooh, it's animated. Oh, well, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I haven't even really started yet. I'm going to put her over there. And now I'm going to go to the Edit drop-down menu. And I'm going to go to Transform and Distort. Edit, Transform, Distort. There you go. That selects my shadow. And notice all these little handles on it. With the Distort option, you look at all the cool, groovy things you can do. I'm going to lay the little girl down like that. Yeah, there you go. Now her hand is not where it should be, so I can go from corner to corner to corner. Maybe bring her hand way over there. Her hand, we don't want her hand out of the way too much, so I'll just bring it down like that. It's a little tricky getting this done and controlling it. I'm sure I want that to be flat. Got to bring this corner up if I got to bring. So you can see you have to do a lot of stretching and stuff to get this done just right. So we'll leave the hand there. Maybe if I bring this corner in. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm not getting exactly what I want. I'm going to bring the bottom of this down and out of the picture. And we've got a little problem here. It's a little too wide, so I'm going to bring this corner in. Maybe that'll work. So you can see you have to do some manipulation here. I want the hand. Bring the head down. Oh, there you go. I just bring this corner all the way in. So that's just going to be a little tough. I might just have to settle. We all have to settle sometimes. If I hide the hand, nobody will be able to see it. So now I've got this working like that. Then I can just go into the opacity and just reduce the opacity of the shadow. Like that. There you go. Make it very faint, perhaps, to make it even look more real. Now, for the horse lady, I'm going to move her. Am I going to move her up? Yeah, I may as well move her up to the very top. And I've got a selection for her, too, so I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to call this Horse Lady Shadow. And this isn't, I don't think this is going to come out as perfect as I would like, but I'm going to go select, load selection, horse lady, bring in the horse lady, and once again, I'm going to go edit fill. Foreground color, yes, I have black selected. I can deselect. And once again, I'm going to scale this down, edit free transform so that I can get it to fit almost about the same size as the horse itself. That will help. There you go. Yeah, hoof to hoof. Hoof to hoof. Hit enter on the keyboard, and then now actually the shadow should be under the horse. Drag that layer down. Then I'll go edit, transform, distort. And once again, I'm just going to drag that sucker down about like that. And I'm not quite getting what I want, so I'm going to see if I can get this hoof right there. Yeah, there. Hoof to hoof, hoof to hoof. And I mean, that works for me right there. I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard, come up here to opacity, and reduce the opacity. There you go. That's working for me. Now you can see that's far from perfect, but it's sure as heck ain't bad. So let's come out here, move the layers palette out of the way. I mean, look, that's I'm photoshopping. Are you photoshopping? I'm photoshopping now. So that's you can do that with about anything. All you have to do is make a selection, saved selection, load selection, put in some black fill color or whatever fill color you want. Put it in its own layer. Use the distort tool by going edit, transform, distort, fill it with some color. And since it's in its own layer, just reduce the opacity of the fill that you used, and you're good to go on your way to your job at Cosmopolitan Magazine.